February 14th, 2020, Valentine's Day. By every measure on our career and life plan, everything was working. We had just moved into what we thought was going to be our forever home near Dallas. We have stunning golf course, curb appeal, and neighbors, amazing neighbors who became friends almost immediately.
And then, exactly 1 month later, the world shut down. When the shock started to fade and we decided to visit my family and friends, that's when reality hit us in a way we never expected.
So despite me being married to an amazing French citizen, I was barred from entering Europe. U.S. citizens were not allowed to travel to Europe during that period. My U.S. passport, the one that I had carried my entire life, in that instant, suddenly meant nothing.
And I might not be allowed back into the US had I traveled to Europe. My permanent resident status, the green card, without US citizenship, made a re-entry uncertain. And that moment made us realize that freedom of mobility around the world is not guaranteed. It's something you have to design and protect and build intentionally.
We realized something that we never had to think about before. We had built a life dependent on one country's policies. One country, one passport, and one policy decision away from potentially being separated on 2 continents.
So we asked ourselves a question that turned out to be the most important question we've ever asked. What else in our life is one policy change away from not working?
And the answer was almost all of it.
I'm Christophe Sushi.
And I'm Gail Warrior, and we are the co-founders of Global Citizen Consulting and the co-authors of the Global Freedom Blueprint. That moment in 2020 is why this channel exists. And today, we're going to walk you through chapter 1 of our book, not as a summary, but as a question. Is your setup actually as secure as you think it is?
So remember, there was a time when building a successful life in one country was the entire strategy. Get a good education, build a career, accumulate assets, and retire in the place you grew up. And for decades, that was sound.
But something has shifted. More and more people are asking whether remaining in one location, bound by high taxes and high costs, truly serves their best interests.
So, chapter 1 discusses a shift that has been quietly happening for a while now. Families, professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors are deciding that building a life with more than one jurisdiction makes actually more sense than concentrating everything in one. And these decisions are being made not on impulse, but strategically.
And being strategic is important. Some move to escape rising taxes. Let's look at the US, for example. If you add up federal, state, local, plus payroll taxes, self-employment tax, capital gains tax, a successful entrepreneur can easily see 40, 45, sometimes 50% of their income go to local and federal government. Now, others may move simply to lower their cost of living. And we know today, housing, healthcare, and education all cost a lot more. The lifestyle a professional income used to provide in, say, 1998, now requires significantly more gross income just to maintain.
But it's true that many move to enjoy greater freedom too. Not all countries tax their citizens the same way. You have jurisdiction with territorial tax systems that only tax income earned inside their borders. Other countries impose no income tax at all. The United Arab Emirates, for example, offers 0 personal income tax and corporate tax exemptions in certain free zones. Panama exempts foreign earned income from taxation entirely. Then on the other side, you have Monaco, who combines a tax-free income environment with a Mediterranean lifestyle.
Now, chapter 1 isn't all about the taxes. We do take a look at how you actually live from day to day.
Exactly. So warm, sunny climates that improve health and mood, blue zones like Costa Rica, Nicoya Peninsula, or Ikaria in Greece, where fresh food and active lifestyle and community connection can actually add years to your life. Imagine you have world-class healthcare at a fraction of US cost.
Now, we like Panama because it is known for its affordability and well-established expat community. But there's also Thailand, which offers tropical beauty and modern healthcare as well, and accessible visa options. Then you've got Portugal, although today is a little more complicated to obtain citizenship, but it blends a high quality of life with welcoming tax incentives. The point is this: each of these destinations has its own rhythm, cuisine, culture, and cost curve.
So for the entrepreneurs and remote workers that are watching this, the opportunities are equally compelling. Setting up a business in a tax-friendly jurisdiction opens doors to global markets. Remote professionals can choose their location without sacrificing income. Investors can diversify into real estate or emerging economy with much lower barriers to entry.
Chapter 1 describes the world as a marketplace. Countries now compete for the presence of skilled and mobile people. Territorial tax systems that only tax income earned domestically, zero personal income tax environments, and healthcare at a fraction of Western costs. Quality of life that rivals or exceeds your country of origin.
The UAE, Panama, Portugal, Mexico, Georgia, Paraguay, these are not exotic fringe options. They are fully functioning, well-governed jurisdictions that have made a deliberate choice to attract people like you.
So the question isn't whether options exist. The question is whether you're willing to look at them with the same rigor that you apply to anything else in your business or your investment portfolio.
And chapter 1 is explicit. This is not only for the ultra-wealthy, and that's a myth we dismantled in a previous video.
Sure. Entrepreneurs, particularly founders with income flexibility, can structure dramatically lower effective tax rates through the right combination of residency and corporate structure. Remote professionals can physically relocate to a lower cost, higher quality environment without changing their income at all, and find that the delta is life-changing.
Yes, and investors can access real estate alternative markets and banking relationships that their home country advisors have rarely, if ever, discussed with them. And families who watched a border closed in 2020 and wondered what that would mean for them can build the structural resilience now, not when they need it.
So the line that we come back to most often from chapter 1 is this. The question isn't, do you qualify? The question is, are you ready to take action? Because every month that you delay is a month that you continue operating under a system that no longer serves you as well as it once did.
And we wrote that to be uncomfortable because I remember we were comfortable where we shouldn't have been. After living this ourselves, we built Global Citizen Consulting to help others do the same, but with a level of rigor that simply didn't exist when we started. There was no one who would look at all the various layers together.
Now, plenty of people were and are selling products. This passport here, this residency program there, or a bank account someplace. What was missing was someone who could look at the full picture. Income, structure, family, timeline, and say, here's what your specific situation actually needs.
That's what our strategic discovery session does. Phase 1 is a deep working conversation around topics that include tax residency, citizenship portfolio, banking, asset domicile, personal mobility, and a lot more. We learn your full picture and help you name precisely what you want. Then there's phase 2. It's analysis and pressure testing. Your real situation against your real goal. Phase 3 is a written report, a specific sequence plan that you can actually act from.
The book, it gives you the blueprint. The strategic discovery session gives you the foundation for how to build your global life. The Global Freedom Blueprint is available on Amazon. Link is below. Chapter 1 alone is worth the read if you have been sitting on the fence.
And if you're thinking, I want to look at my actual situation seriously, well, the link for an intro conversation is also in the description. No pitch, no product, just a real conversation about what's possible.
So next week, chapter 2, your first moves towards global freedom and 3 words that change everything. Decide, design, and depart.
I'm Christophe Sushi.
And I'm Gail Warrior. We'll see you next time.